down in the basement of Union Station on sea level. We're installing right now 10 of the prints of Campbell soup cans done by Andy Warhol. And Andy Warhol actually made 32 different kinds of Campbell soup cans. We have 10 in this exhibit. And right now, the hanging of them is actually, we've run into a little bit, it's taken us a little bit longer than what we expected, because while they all look the same, each one is actually very different. The backs of the frames, the hanging hardware, as it turns out, the measurements aren't the same. So we're having to go measure each and every one individually. We're having to use levels to level them all out with each other because they're not identical. And that actually, in some ways, is pretty fitting for what Andy Warhol was doing with the soup can series. He was taking something that looked very similar, but actually, as you look at them, and the more you look at these, you'll realize that each one is different. It's not just a different variety, but there's something different about the soup cans. And I think part of what Andy Warhol may have been doing with these, he was taking something that a lot of people look at this, soup cans, that's boring, I know what Campbell soup looks like. But by taking it and making, from a soup can this big to a soup can this big, and putting it in a way where you can't ignore it. Everybody that I know pretty much has a can of soup in their cabinet. But when it's like this in front of you, you find yourself starting to look at it, and you'll realize the details. Like the seal in the middle of a Campbell soup can is actually an award medal from the 1900 World's Fair in Paris, where Campbell soup won an award. It's just little things. It was his way of making people look at something that was in their everyday lives, but really think about it maybe for the first time.